I'll have to share it with Abby on her Gmail. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
Actually,
You should be able to, because we've had applicants that have presented on.
Oh, well, Lauren should be able to join this.
oh, how do I do that?
Can you send them,
it's on the website. I can send the link, just give me.
or I can also.
Or do you want to just put it up from your, Kate's gonna put it up. 'Cause she's better.
Well, and, can she edit?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
because
perfect.
that would probably be the simplest thing, just go ahead and edit it. Well said. Just send it off.
Just like that? Well, let's make it into a PDF and make sure it's formatted correctly, which I volunteered doing.
Well, but we're sending it to somebody who is combining with other.
My aesthetic sensibilities won't let me send
Okay.
things. I'm sorry, Al.
I will defer, I will defer.
I will send it tonight, but please, dear God, if it gets all wonky, I want it to be, look okay.
Oh,
I have my hat on.
I got you with the perms.
Mhm.
Memento. Beautiful. These are just so.
There it is.
I mean, you can also edit it just while we're here.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so, should we date it today?
Sure.
28.
So would this be the?
Well, okay, well, I guess, because all of the comments are off on the right side.
Oh, do you have it up on your computer, Al? If you could, if you want to do it that way, then you can see, I can also zoom out. I was just trying to make it larger.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, that's all readable.
So would this be the call to order or was that?
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the comment that I was looking at is now down here. That's the first one where we're talking about, I felt that we're being too gentle with them.
Very cutthroat.
This highlighted paragraph.
And you were also saying we didn't need to, talk about the population, but me and Todd and Kate thought we should.
I'm okay if we remove the reference to Beacon.
I'm gonna close out the trailers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm open to hearing it both ways, but I don't think it lessens our case if we don't reference Beacon. We're still saying there's 2,000 people who live in this village and there could be 2,000 people a day.
So should we just take that?
Well, can we say, the HDRB points out the fact that the Cold Spring is not a unique challenge, but is different. Okay. Why don't we say HDRB points out that the village of Cold Spring represents a unique challenge, and I'll shut up and.
You want to say points out rather than recognizes?
I guess recognizes suggests that they're the ones who recognize it and we also recognize it, but if we're saying we're pointing it
Well,
out.
but I don't
like,
think
calling it out because they're kind of not recognizing.
they're
it.
not recognized.
So I think it is better to say it points out. Like would like to make you aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wants
pay
to
attention.
emphasize.
Yeah, I think that would be
Wants to
nice, would like to emphasize.
Mhm.
Yeah, wants to emphasize.
Or would like to. And then keep the part about the populations in.
Yeah, fine, let's.
From the Chamber of Commerce breakfast this morning, Rebecca Ramirez said that she and the Fjord Trail team met with the Main Street business owners recently to get feedback and they sent questions and they got answers back and they sent them answers and it was related to like parking and trash and this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And so
We
I
should do
almost
that.
want to just have those answers before we send this, actually. I meant, sorry, it was on my list from this morning and I forgot. I don't know who I can get it from really quickly.
You need Rebecca's number?
I mean,
I
yeah,
have
she
that.
can just do, well, do you
I'll
know,
give it
or?
to you. I don't feel like engaging on this topic, but.
Fair. I think I have it.
But I can send you her number.
What is it that we want to say as a result of that?
I just think if they're openly responding to these questions, certain
Oh,
groups.
we can
then
also send our comments to them directly.
No, not,
No?
the mayor's asked for us to all collect these and then send them, and so, but I just think, wow, if they've answered some of these questions, and these are similar questions to ours, I wanted you to
Well, that's
answer.
part of the process, is that this is out for comment. And so, normally the way that, the process works is that, the comment and the responses are then published. And so people can see the comments that were made and the responses that they provided.
And is it asynchronous? So if I, as a citizen, were to say, I have a comment, Rebecca, then she would respond to my comment specifically, rather than hold all the comments to share?
Well, I would think that they could probably combine some comments and say, in response to these comments, this is our response.
I'm just gonna write her using my new Cold Spring store owner hat, I think. Cause it's
So I was
relevant to
asking for
both.
her to send
Yeah.
send it to you, so you're not asking.
Yeah.
So Kate said something here about, I'm trying to move because I have to pick my son up.
Yep.
But I have to leave by 2:50.
Okay. Yes.
So, Kate says, note something about Lower Main being a peninsula. Do we want to do that here?
We mentioned unique geography, and for me, it always stands out that Lower Main it's truly a,
Well, that goes back to the whole issue about as far as car traffic, there is only one access, and that's Lund Terrace.
so I like using the word peninsula because I think, or island in some ways, with a bridge connecting, it somehow emphasizes the fact that it's not just
Right.
in the village. So if we could find some visual language.
How about its unique geography, it's relatively short linear commercial strip, it's truncated, Main Street. The tracks that truncate Main Street and form a peninsula at the other side.
Maybe it's not. Okay.
No, it's.
Yeah, it's unique geography. Where did you mention Lower Main?
In a different paragraph, like, so I think this is just, it's
So maybe
unique
it's-
geography, and then we get more into the
Yeah, so
specifics
let's wait
later,
until
so
we're
just
talking
leave
about Lower
it,
Main.
okay.
Yep.
Done. All right, okay, the village streets were widened. Did none of us confirm that? We
I
can
couldn't
say
find
that, we
anything.
can say that mid 20th
Do we
century.
just not have to give a date? I mean, is
Say
it,
the mid 20th century, and that's extremely big. And that,
What's the comment then?
Cold Spring is historically a walkable village with cars introduced in the early 20th century. Village streets were widened in the mid 20th century to accommodate increased vehicular traffic, yet the village still retains much of its historic walkability today. I mean, that's like, I know that that's true. Like, you can see the curbs, like different like there's like the stone curbs and the other curbs that are farther back. So like, I know that happened.
Well, I had a comment on that, because, well,
oh, sorry, am I on the wrong section now, or are we? There.
okay, the thing is that, and I haven't had a chance to track down exactly when it happened, but I know that there was a flood, and that's what affected the layout of of Main Street. But, I guess the question really is that What?
When sewage lines were put in,
I mean,
moving away from septic, like in Nelsonville, did that also change the
they don't have a municipal sewage.
other septic?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so I think that we just leave the data out
okay,
and just,
widened.
yeah. just
Or
widen.
we say, we don't say to accommodate increased vehicular traffic. We could just say the village streets were widened, yet the village still retains much of its historic walkability today.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, was the flood in the mid-20th century?
Yeah, I think, well, I think that, that just take the data out and yet, and leave it at that.
Can you see what I'm doing on the screen?
Mhm.
Boom. All right. Okay. Okay. 1979. Thank you, Kate. And then what's this? Okay, Al, this is your comment from here. The DGIS supports this on page.
Yeah, I just thought that this,
You want to cite that?
well, I thought that this sentence was. Well, I think that and also I cited another section of the DGIS, which again said that the village is suffering from congestion on weekends. I mean, and it goes back to. All right, well, there it is.
So do you want me to add this? Right, that you have over here? Or do you want me to not add it? Like, you
I
want
think
me to
that's-
do this?
I think I took this out because I thought it read better as one primary reason that the layout is challenging for the current number of tourists is due to traffic flow along Main Street being cut off by the elevated train tracks.
I'll take that out. I meant but the previous paragraph. where
Well,
you
and
had a note on the side.
You wanna add?
Did you want me to put that into the body of the text? Which I just added here, but is that what you wanted me to do?
yeah, because we were talking about, again, parking. And all, I just wanted to point out the fact that the DGIS also supports, it states that there is an issue because of the parking.
Okay.
And I guess existing train. Um,
This was confirmed, the 1979.
And then so I just erased this one. Constructed in 29.
That was also confirmed.
I remembered it.
Yeah, I'm like, who knew, who had?
'Cause
this
it's on the
date
thing.
down? It's on,
It's
it
on
says
the
it on the little
tunnel, yeah.
tunnel. And flooded every year since.
Yes. Okay, the circulation will become more troublesome if Dockside becomes the southern terminus of the HHFT. The DGEIS estimates an additional 1,700 road visitors a day. If they come to Dockside via automobile, where is the anticipated location for them to park? Do we want to ask this as a question, or do we want to,
well,
you want to say like the HDRD?
well, they don't
notes
even,
that this-
they don't even address the fact as far as people coming to the southern terminus of, coming to Dockside Park, where do they park the car?
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. I mean, they mention the Metro North lot and they mention the municipal lot, but they don't directly say, this is our intention that people park in these lots.
Well, then also, currently on weekends, the Metro North lot gets pretty crowded. I mean, it's,
Right, so would they take that lot, hikers take the lot away from residents?
right.
Yeah.
Well, and not too many residents parking.
Well, for weekends, sure, if they're coming from Nelsonville to go into the city for the day.
Yeah.
But there, okay, so how about we say the DGEIS estimates an additional blah visitors a day, and you cite the thing. But there is no plan in the DGIS for where these people will park if they arrive by automobile.
That sounds clear. That she's sending.
Yeah, I'd rather not ask a question. Be like, no. Hmm. Okay, or now you say, Al, are we saying that the elevated platform and the overpass accessed by elevator is the connection? Yes. Right?
Well, that goes into the whole issue as far as accessibility. Because I would assume that if Docksides is the southern terminus, that means that if you have people arriving from the city and they're in a wheelchair, then they have to go up the elevator to the overpass and come down on the other side.
Yeah. Well, so I think that actually gets covered down here when we talk about,
Circulation routes?
yeah, and like we specifically talk about ADA accessibility in like 3 different places. So is it okay if we just have this as a general introduction to the list up here?
That's okay with me.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
call that up below.
So then here,
It sounded like a spark from our fire or a live,
Did
live
it?
mic, one or the other.
or
Or mouse track? Those are my 2 dads.
did sound like a fire pop.
Oh, it's a live mic, you can hear some. Can I put this? Yes, definitely.
All right, so then, Kate, you say the Fair Street meander cannot arguably stop at the municipal lot on Fair Street, as that lot is already maxed out.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, do you
say,
want me to just add this in?
we will then need to clean up the language some and
We can.
confirm, I have to look back at the DGEIS just to see how they describe it, but I think they even acknowledge it's already full on weekends. So I would want that terminology. The DGEIS acknowledges this lot is full on weekends and therefore we feel is not a appropriate solution as far as parking is concerned.
So should that be a
Um,
different,
But it's hard to
is that a
then.
different part, like, is that like a number 10?
No.
Or is that in this paragraph?
I think it relates to Fair Street and some of this, I'm a little worried. I think all of these points are worth making. But how do we best tie it back to historic preservation? I mean, if they haven't solved any of this, then the village is a mess, so that becomes our problem. So maybe that's enough.
Well, the issue, I think, and this gets into a comment that I made later on where they describe the APE, the area of potential effects, 100 feet from their,
We should mention that in here, because that's,
I did,
oh, good.
Later, okay.
Okay,
So what do we want to do with this? With your,
with my
your point.
meander, restate clearly that the meander needs to either be a thing or not is like the fact that it's a potential meander we have issues with.
Um,
Sorry, let me leave mine for a second.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think calling it out, saying you guys are saying this is a potential thing, but you're not committing to it. And us noting that this has extremely important architecture along the way, I think is
Clear enough.
but
Yeah.
to me, the
Well-
parking lot would be a different point, like a point about a full parking lot would be a different.
So let's combine wherever we're talking about the two parking lots. You know, one concern addressing that those lots do not solve for parking for a new pure trail.
I think that's a little, is
That's
that later?
okay.
Is that later?
That would like to be that. It's the first entry. So I think it's relevant. It's saying, how do they get to the entry? Circulation routes, we're saying HDRB would like to see a map of the ways they get to the entry. The dockside or the boat. And then we list pedestrian cyclists arriving from Metro North Station, pedestrian cyclists. The parking, pedestrian cyclists arriving from cars from the municipal lot. Okay, so it's more, can we add just something, you know, and current capacity of lots?
To number 10. Yeah, how about a study of current capacity versus proposed use? Capacity, for all.
I think you have to be careful about that because they have a whole section about where they talk about cars coming in. I don't think
Survey, your trail books.
I can grab it.
Would you mind, it might be easier than me. Maybe it's not though, I don't know.
It's hard because like it's, you know, the parking is not.
Question for you.
That's not in the district.
How much longer do you think, you guys will
It's
have to
2:20.
review?
Lauren has a hard stop.
we're on the last page. I think it shouldn't take too much longer.
Hopefully 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll maybe come back to that. I see you cited the code. Thank you, Al. And then, okay, so you're saying 3-dimensional signage. The reason I put 3-dimensional signage is because earlier that day I walked by the Nobody's Deli. And I was like, not in our purview, so.
No,
it is actually.
It
It
is. It
And
is.
over a certain
And
size.
we've
I see.
raised the issue because,
Okay, so I'll just put signage, so.
yeah. Because 3-dimensional sign, I knew what you meant. But I think for somebody who's not on the board.
What the hell?
Is that me?
Okay, so just signage. All right, then what else? We might be able to do this. If I get the formatting correct. That's okay. So you took out Bar Harbor, that's fine, I'm gonna do that. Oops, you already did that, and then. Okay, so this you turned into a question. I want not.
That's really complicated.
The board of, okay, did
One of
somebody
the
do
traffic,
this?
probably the second one.
Oh, yes, Alex. That would be the case if visitors continue on the north bound highway, however, we don't anticipate the route to go just on the western side.
Yeah, and to me,
Well, both.
this is a little confusing because realistically, it's not along the path. Because if you're going to Dockside, you would not be on the eastern track. You would
If
go
you're
to
coming
the
up-
western track.
Well, if you're coming up from the city, and this happens all the time,
Right.
people just stay on that track rather than crossing over.
Okay,
and then that's,
but if
they
you're,
see the bathroom.
well, yeah, and what you're saying is correct. In other words, if you're on the eastern side, the chances are, unless there's signage to the contrary, people will go to Main Street, and then from Main Street theoretically, they go through the underpass.
Or
and-
whatever, yeah.
And then go down to Dockside. But, you know, because we get into the issue about signage and, would people, if there was signage directing them to Dockside, theoretically, they'd cross over on the western track because that's the one that goes down to Dockside. However, that happens. Is there a ramp or there's stairs, right?
There's a ramp and stairs on the river side of the platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the eastern platform, it's just
Oh, yeah.
stairs.
Only ramp.
Is there a ramp?
When you're coming up from New York,
Yeah.
there's only a ramp. You go,
Oh, yeah, it's only a ramp,
Yeah.
yeah. Or there's, like, no, okay, just a ramp. Just kidding.
Okay. And basically what we're stating or complaint about really has to do with handicap accessibility. But the restrooms,
So do you want
We
me to,
did just say from the
well,
eastern platform?
well,
of the train
but
station?
here is my question. Is the village really set up to now maintain additional bathrooms at Dockside?
Okay,
I mean, they're planning on adding additional bathrooms. I don't know if the village will maintain them or if the
Well,
dockside staff will
but I
maintain
think
them, but they have
that's up
to.
in the air in the DGIS.
No, in the DGIS, they very clearly state that Dockside is maintained, operated and maintained by the village.
Currently, and I think probably in the future, but don't you think that they would negotiate? To
No, if you remember, there was that thing where they suggested that we hold events and other things which you can
With
charge weddings.
in
And
order
then-
to pay to have their bathrooms cleaned?
Yeah.
Oh, I misunderstood, but I mean, I think they need bathrooms there and they need bathrooms here, and I don't want to make the maintenance of the bathrooms the issue of the village. But I do think there's bathrooms that are needed, and I would hope that the village board would say these bathrooms are needed and the Pure Trail needs to maintain them or pay to have maintained. But do you,
Well,
You don't
I
think we
think
need that?
one way or another, they do need to add bathrooms there. To me, that's not any question because they state that repeatedly. That they would be adding bathrooms to to Dockside.
right,
And the question really is that if the village in fact is maintaining it, then they have to pay to clean it. They have, there is going to be a requirement and then, it's nowhere addressed by the village. And I would assume it's something that they're going to raise. But, there are going to be additional trash cans along the various ways, the pathways. Because you've got more people coming, through that area, 1,700, even though that doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to enter at the south side. I think that
and the tunnel's a part of that too.
the one,
The tunnel or the infrastructure has been problematic and it's had to shut multiple times this year because of flooding. I mean,
well, it sort of goes back to, they're estimating these 1,700 people. How are they getting there? And, what is the mode of transportation? And that's the part that they don't really know. And they're just assuming that, that is not going to be a problem when we already have a problem with, excess visitors on the weekends.
so they're proposing that their marketing, as I understand it, will push for people to take the train and public transportation and carpool, and then they'll be promoting all of the various nodes to de-emphasize Cold Spring However, I agree to your point, we don't know how many people from the city, if this was me, would still say, oh, you have a car? Okay, well, let's drive to Cold Spring, get a coffee in town,
Or-
find a place to park and then go on the trail.
Or how about all the people in Westchester County?
Yeah, right, in Westchester, they're not coming up the Metro
They're
North.
not,
They're not coming across Metro
Right.
North.
you know, so I mean, one of the things that has truly amazed me is how many people actually come, and they actually, a lot of them do in fact drive. Which, oh, that's all nice and good, but you know, need someplace to park a car. And that's why we have, metered, parking on the weekends.
And all the resident parking because residents were not able to park by their home.
Right.
Okay, so in terms of adding this in, so I still think that that point about the existing Cold Spring bathrooms being the first thing that visitors see if they're coming from the eastern platform at the train station and Upper Main Street is valid and we should keep that in.
Okay.
And then how, do we want to add your point, Al, about the bathrooms in Dockside in this paragraph?
Well, I
What do you
think
want to
it should be, you say, currently there are 2 restrooms on Main Street, but additional restroom facilities. I think you should start off the paragraph by saying that the DGIS calls for bathrooms to be, located at Dockside. And the question then becomes who maintains these?
Okay, so we have, while the HDRB notes and appreciates that the HFT is proposing new restroom facilities at Dockside and at Little Stony Point, the board anticipates that the use of existing restrooms at the bottom of Main Street will increase with the addition of the HFT. As they are the first restrooms visitors arriving from the east platform of the train station and upper portions of Main Street will encounter before they reach Dockside. The HDRB also questions or would like further clarification on who will be maintaining the
Well,
bathrooms,
well,
proposed bathrooms at Dockside?
Well, this is something which, I would probably insert it there because, we don't anticipate that the village is going to be adding, additional restrooms, but we
Well, it's
do
the
know that.
responsibility for AD.
Okay, I got Rebecca's responses and it mentions bathrooms. Maybe that will just solve everything.
We do know that the DGIS calls for new bathrooms to be, installed at Dockside.
And at Little Stony Point. So, but after here, like, can you see my cursor?
Bring up the screen, sorry. I just wanted to bring up Rebecca's.
Do we want?
So that was my water. That's fine.
I think it's worth reading this. It's Rebecca's responding to how will the parking for the VR trail work?
One, two,
I'm not that long. Sorry. You guys keep on going there. Let me
Okay.
okay.
These platforms, okay, so the HDRB, can we say,
Well, questions,
would like
Is-
further clarification
well,
on
HDRB is
concern?
concerned.
Is
yes.
concerned, about the village,
The added, responsibility of the village to maintain the bathrooms. at
ability
Dockside.
to, village highway crew, or whatever, to
Just the village.
maintain, yeah. The restroom, the new restroom. Newly installed. Dockside. Concerned with, concerned about, concerned for, that. The added responsibility of the village will be costly.
Yeah. I take out because, the, added restrooms being built by the village is pure speculation. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, I took that out for the, well, I'm just saying that we anticipate that there will be new bathrooms needed, so whoever is concerned.
Well, you have further on HE anticipates a need for additional restroom facilities in the historic district in the near future.
So there will be bathrooms at all of the trailheads, including Dockside Park, and the Fjord Trail staff will be responsible for operating and maintaining the restroom
I think that's
facilities,
what, yeah,
garbage and recycling. They're also saying that they are not going to advertise the Metro North lot as a parking lot. The Village of Cold Spring leadership requested they not promote Cold Spring Metro North as a parking lot, and they won't.
okay, so the village won't be maintaining the bathrooms there, so I'm gonna take that out.
Is that what they
That's
said?
what Rebecca is saying, she's from the Short Trail.
Who's gonna maintain?
The Fjord Trail.
Who?
The
The
Fjord Trail,
Now, is this, FT Inc.?
I don't know, she says,
she's like the public outreach person,
yeah, she works for the HHFT
I think.
and. Get back
Then,
to it. So. HHFT will work in close collaboration with New York State Parks to steward the trail corridor, but the Fjord Trail staff will be responsible for all operations and maintenance responsibilities such as restrooms, maintenance, garbage, recycling, collection, parking lot operation. The upkeep of the trail itself.
All right, are they gonna be responsible for all of, Dockside?
That's one of the, yeah. It's the trailhead. I don't know.
Trailhead, or.
There's a number of trailheads. Dockside Park is one of them. Little Stony Park Point is one of them. I mean, I'll just read it. This is what they have to say. Where will bathrooms, trash cans be located and how will they be maintained? Restrooms with composting toilets are being proposed for each of the trailhead entries at Dockside Park, Little Stony Point, Washington, Breakneck Ridge, Dutchess Manor, and Notch. Animal-proof trash and recycling receptacles will be located at every trailhead entry, and trash receptacles will be in key locations along the trail, including designated pull-off rest areas. HHFT will work in close collaboration with NYS Parks to steward the trail corridor, but the Fjord Trail staff will be responsible for all operations and maintenance responsibilities such as restroom maintenance, garbage recycling collection, parking lot operations, and upkeep and repairs of the trail itself. Was that helpful?
Well,
I tried to read it very quickly.
okay, then that contradicts what they've said in the DEIS.
Because we did have a question about, there was a, like, maybe we can hook up to the village sewer system for the toilets,
Well,
or maybe we can.
you know,
do-
to
They
me,
might. That's different from maintenance.
Okay, well, she's saying composting toilet.
Power, for
but
example.
and the thing is that they're building a bunch of new restrooms. And all of them that don't have access to, a sewer system are gonna be composting toilets. But that's not the case with Dockside. Dockside is there right at the edge of the system, so I don't see any reason why they wouldn't hook up. I mean, my question that the village needs to answer is that, adding these toilets, is that going to be a problem as far as the capacity of the sewage treatment plant?
Yeah, I'm curious, but I feel like
That's not our.
Yeah, I don't think
not
that's
our
our
bailiwick.
thing. So can I leave it as we have it? Or what are we?
okay, let me go back.
I think. I do, and.
We're approaching,
Another
You know.
year. It's time.
yeah, we're at an hour and a half and, I really need to get back to do other things, guys.
Mhm.
So we can wrap this
You
up.
mean this isn't exciting? for you?
can come going and you can come back or?
I mean, probably won't come back, just because I have stuff that I take care of during the day. If you want to keep meeting, I'm not quite sure what they have scheduled after this one. don't know.
You have to.
Well-
You need to leave
20
like
minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. And we're coming to the end of this thing, I mean,
Oh, no. Okay,
all right, so.
we'll just go back. Okay, so I'm gonna just take that away. This is boom, good. All right, then we go down here. Okay, Kate, did you want to ask anything? Did you want to add, design for widened sidewalks? ADA compliant sidewalks?
Yeah, I think Al rightly mentioned those when we were discussing getting to the trail.
So design, widen for a sidewalk. Or with a non-historic district. And the HDRD would like to see anything, trash, additional trash receptacle. For,
And how do we, because within the historic district, seems to get them an out, and they keep on saying, oh, we're not in the historic district, like the trail ends before, the main trail ends before, and there's no meander. But that's, and I don't know how to phrase it, but I need to read back over this. Are we clear enough that we feel they are, just by nature of ending the trail in the village, all of this, they will have to touch?
wait, what?
I mean, they could just say, well, we won't have any new receptacles in the historic district, no problem.
Right, well, and then they were talking about putting out, that they're gonna, clear, or that they're gonna pick up trash from the receptacles and recycling it as well as trash. But, does that include the path that we're talking about from, train station and to get to dockside?
But that's when now they're saying, oh, well, we're not gonna use the train station, we're de-emphasizing that, so I feel like
Well,
they're.
it's all nice and good to say that, we're de-emphasizing it. Does that mean that people are not gonna use that anymore?
Right, I think that's the main issue that we need, even if you're saying, even if you're not encouraging people to park at Metro North, even if, people will come here
If you
to
want
have
to
a
go, it's fine if you want to go, though, Abby, and we can just close the computer. I feel bad.
We're almost at the end. I think that the last point that needs to be added is the business about the APE,
What's the AP?
the area of potential effect.
Design.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Where am I putting that? Down here.
Scroll down the comments.
Okay, wait. Kate, I'm not sure it'll be viewable from the historic area, but definitely viewable by the time you get to Mayor's Park. I would like to see renderings. As I worry, in Western Ed, can no longer be cut from the not a small thing. How do we approach it? Okay, what am I?
Well, it's really the view shed, so I don't know if this is just a note that we get separately to whichever working group this is most applicable to, but when you walk down Fair Street, you see the river and you see the freight train moving by, and that anchors you to the west coast of the Hudson. And I don't know that you see that anymore once it goes out.
Okay, so well, I'm saying request additional renderings, right? And enlarge elevations and materials. Is that
Okay.
enough?
Yeah.
Just, stop in whenever you're done,
Okay.
so I can.
Okay,
stop
and
the recording.
we will follow all of the procedures. So you can say that, Lauren, moved that we adjourn.
It'll be on the video, she'll know.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay.
just call me.
Okay, thank you, Abby. All right, okay, so that's if we were gonna move with that, where are we next? We're at the streetscape. Okay, I think that's good. Adversely impact, boom, great. Express concern that, boom, great. Thursday. It. Okay. Wait, you put a period. Okay. Okay, that's all done. Okay, so then the only thing you want to add in terms of like a Roman numeral is about the view shed or whatever, what is it called? The area.
Area of potential effect.
Okay. So that would be 8.
And they, yeah, because they say it doesn't stack the 8, and it does.
And then what do we want to say?
Well, the DGIS states that the area of potential effect is 100 feet. And I thought I had.
I have, so on page 4F6, the boundaries of the S/NR listed Cold Spring Historic District are not within the portion of the 8 that encompasses the proposed Pure Trail South Main Trail. And views from buildings in the area of this historic district do not have clear approximate views of the main trail. And then I quoted in my notes, they're saying the main trail of Fjord Trail South would not be located within the historic district and would not overlap with a small portion of the locally designated Cold Spring Historic District with no proposed changes to any structures. And then they say no impacts to the Cold Spring Historic District are anticipated.
Okay. So what
Right.
are we?
What they're saying is that they're looking at the impact 100 feet from the trail. And obviously, there's no impact, which,
So we could say 100 feet from the trail, which we find to be insufficient.
yeah, that's what I thought I had put down.
Technically, the 8, the way it's designated, if you're more than 100 feet away, it's not an issue. So they're saying we're more than 100 feet away. There's no issue. But for me, they're ignoring the meander. And they're also,
Well, the access from the train station to the dockside, all of the people who are driving to.
everyone who ends or starts at the trail will come through the village.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to say that there is no impact is. Foolhardy.
Also say historic homes can be demolished without oversight, so why would this be any different?
Okay, so the DGEIS states that the area of potential effect is 100 feet from the trail, but the HDRB notes that this is insufficient and requests for the HHFP to increase their studies of the area of potential effect to what? To 1,000 feet, to 600 feet?
The 100 feet is the definition. It's not, they didn't make up that number. They were given that
They
number.
made up that number, because I looked.
No way.
Yeah. For example, if you Google it, in other places, they're talking about 5 miles, 5 blocks. I know, for example, and I'm working on,
Sounds so official.
what?
They made it sound so official, the 100
I
feet.
know, yeah, well, that just said. It's purely arbitrary. If you look up, Google, area of potential effect, and you'll find, some guidelines on the part of SHPO. And there was a, Virginia SHPO,
Okay, so can I just, I'm writing this paragraph because I have to go on 4 minutes. Okay, so number 9, area of potential effect. The DGEIS states that the area of potential effect is 100 feet from the trail, but the HDRB notes that this area is insufficient and requests for the HHFT to increase the area of potential effect to, we need to decide on how many feet from the trail, and studies the effects on Cold Spring within this expanded range.
well, I think the entire, portion of which they show as combined trails. In other words, they show that dashed line,
Mhm.
which goes from from the train station to Dockside, and also from the train station to Main Street, where they cross over into the meander.
Right, so we've already asked them about circulation routes and we've been very specific. So in this seems like a different paragraph, then I think we can say like from the main trail and including meanders.
But maybe, what if it's basically any of the circulation routes should be included in the area of potential
Well,
effect?
that, and also the thing is that the district boundary abuts Dockside.
Mhm.
So certainly within, the district, in fact, is within that 100 feet.
Right.
So, and, uh, and study issue a report studying the effects on Cold Spring. Okay, so, but the HDRB notes that this area is insufficient and requests for the HFT to increase the area of potential effect to, we still have to make a number here, from the main trail, all meanders, circulation routes, and dockside. The HDRB requests a report studying the effects on Cold Spring within this expanded range. Is that okay?
Yeah. Because
How
also,
many feet, guys?
100? Maybe just use the same number, but we include.
Okay.
What.
Okay.
so what are we recommending?
Okay. The DGEIS states that the area of potential effect is 100 feet from the main trail. And then I'm gonna do a period. The HDRB, the HDRB notes that this area is insufficient and requests that the HHFT increases the area of potential effect to 100 feet from the main trail, all meanders, all circulation routes, and dockside. The HDRB requests a report from the HHFT studying the effects on Cold Spring within this expanded range.
I think that's great. The one thing is when you say all and circulation route, is it super clear that that means any cars driving down Main Street? Like,
All circulation routes as requested earlier in this document.
To include automobile traffic or car traffic.
any routes traveled to access dockside,
Okay, so I'll circulate from any routes.
any routes traveled to access dockside.
And dockside itself.
I don't recognize half the stuff here from what I remember looking through the,
I think that's like an appendix. I think we looked at this.
So, yeah, I
And
don't
that's
think
all the study stuff that wasn't on, like
But that should
the
be-
footnote.
that should have been accessible online, right? And I don't think it was. Is that what you're saying, Alex?
yeah, I mean, because the document that I reviewed had, the trail north and the trail south, and all of the things that affect us are really on the trail south.
Okay, guys, I think we're in kind of good shape with this. If you want to make any more changes while I'm gone, I'm happy to do a final, make a PDF of it. And just make sure all the formatting didn't get wonky between the editable version and the PDF, and then I can send it to Kathleen from all of us.
Yeah.
If you want.
Doesn't go to Kathleen,
or
goes
whoever.
to the,
Okay, if somebody,
there's somebody who acts as a compiler.
Well, or you guys listening from Rebecca.
we don't want that. Oh, we do. Look at us. Okay.
Did you save a page? We
Yeah,
just,
so good. So then I'm gonna download this. Do you guys want to make any more changes?
Oh, I'll just read the draft when I'm.
I mean, you can send it to, it doesn't really matter.
No, that's okay. I can read it now. I realize I'm not in sync with you guys today. Um, should we say January 8th and January 28th to discuss the finance
Mhm.
conducted 2 special meetings.
Sorry, my draft is fun. Oh, no, it's not fun, great.
Do you know the East Mountain Music Studio people?
Yes,
Corey Selman, the kindergartner,
yeah.
is gonna do the classic.
Oh, cute, cute. Wait, I didn't sign up yet. I will though.
That's okay.
Malcolm is excited. He was like, I'll do that.
Oh, sweet. I have a bunch of, this is all informal right now anyway, so I'll just put him down as like double check before you.
Yes,
fill it
please
out.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What day is it?
It's Thursdays right after school, so we'll go and pick the kids up and it's from 3:15 to 4:45.
And when does it start?
It starts the last week of February.
Okay.
I'll forward you the little announcement too.
Great. Yeah, he's got this little, well, I teach in art class. for little kids.
Oh,
So
that's
on
cool.
Wednesday. And I have, so I do like a little informal art studio. Art class, you know. Like, you know,
Cool.
so what they're doing their winter one now. Great.
Right.
And we pick them up in spring.
Oh, same
Yeah,
thing.
same thing. It's
What's
so
your,
confusing.
how many kids do you do?
8.
Oh, it's the same number.
Yeah,
Okay.
which
Do you feel like that's a good number?
I love 6,
Okay.
depending on the group. But 6.
So 8 start getting a little crazy.
Yeah, you need 2 adults for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
With 8. Anyway, I have to run.
Yep.
Don't want my kids standing at the playground going, where's my mom? All right, bye.
Bye.
I'll send it tonight. if you
Okay,
need it.
I'll
All
look
right,
at
I'm
you.
gonna take one quick look tonight, and then you can, it's all yours. Take all of this stuff over to,
Yeah, I can take it backwards too. I was gonna just try to read it once more since I was frenetic. Data points that
the
are
meeting is now closed.
adjourned.
So I'm walking over to our office, but I don't,
Yeah, convenient.
can't read that.